So he is in an offside position, but clearly the ball touches like 3 people before it gets to him.
But then VAR had to release the full explanation. They even released the audio of the VAR because they were like, we don't want that smoke. We know some of y'all are Dodger fans.
Bro, I want to talk a little bit about El Tráfico, LA Galaxy against LAFC. This was a huge.
You know what shocked me the most?
No.
How well Chicharito and Vela got along during the coin toss.
Why do you think they I've never heard that they dislike each other.
No, never either.
Yeah,
but there was a feeling of both of these players have something to prove. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a little bit of added weight with each of them sort of maybe getting a chance at the Mexican national team, maybe Chicharito having a little bit more of that buzz, but both of these players sort of being considered, maybe we should look at them if you're a Mexican national team fan. The added weight of a new manager for LAFC, the fan bases were kind of going at each other, all in our homie Andrew Medina's Twitter. So much was weighted on this, and then it starts off with both of them just like giggling with each other over the coin toss. It was a bit of a surprise.
It was cute.
It was cute. It was nice.
And I think we need this is the first time that they actually played against each other, because
crazy.
Every single time they for every other Tráfico, since they've both been in the league, one of them has either been injured.
Yeah, they've been Joseph Martinez.
Okay, all right. If you want to do that. I mean, I can't tell you what to say. But so look, this game ended 2-1. Chicharito getting the first goal. Grancier sent in that first ball. I think he got 2 assists in this game. He was incredible. And really just set them up perfectly. I'm more concerned that LA Galaxy, they get a lead. They still have somewhat defensive issues.
They leak goals.
Yeah, I mean, they're not. It's gotten better, but the fact that they lost some energy at home in the second half was a little odd to me, and it really did feel throughout that entire second half like, oh, LAFC's they're gonna tie this game. They're gonna, or could at least possibly win. Carlos Vela hits the post on, could have been just a tap in. I'm sure he 100% regrets missing that. But look, Galaxy they did enough. But obviously the controversy was at the end of the game. Blessing scores the tying goal.
Or did he?
Well, actually.
Yeah. Okay. VAR's like, well, if we're going to go by the rules.
But this was a proper offside.
VAR hates vibes, dude. We need a vibes assistant referee,
it just
bro.
feels like every single time, every Tráfico, there's just always a mess. Just always something problematic, chaotic. Something
dumb wild happens at every El Tráfico, and this is no different.
Yeah, so if you didn't see the play, obviously, I forgot who sent the cross in, but who the person ahead of the ball, who eventually got the ball, was Mamadou Fall, who has an interesting story. Who he doesn't wear his name on his back. Do you know his story?
No.
Mamadou Fall. I think he's a center back or midfielder. I forgot where he plays, but he wears Mbake, Mbacke, I believe is on the name on his back, and that's apparently his father's name or uncle's name. But he wears I believe it's his father. He wears his father's name because his father told him he'll never make it as a professional player. And he says, if I make it, I'm gonna wear your name on the back to show you.
Hell yeah.
which is kind of wild.
It's like, why does Alexis have pendejo written on the back of his shirt? It's to honor his father.
Okay, people show respect in different cultures in different ways.
I'm trying to show the least amount as possible.
So he is in an offside position, but clearly the ball touches like 3 people before it gets to him.
But then VAR had to release the full explanation. They even released the audio of the VAR because they were like, we don't want that smoke. We know some of y'all are Dodger fans.
Bro, it's like the 96th minute. It's a huge moment.
Even if they didn't call the offside on the player, which was offside, who wasn't the one who was the ball was aimed at, is that there was another offside after that.
Right.
So they were like, there were 2.
They were like, yo, we were going to call one of them. Don't be mad at us.
But also watching it, hearing the rule, you're like, I get it, but come on.
No, I think that the confusion was that a I don't know if Blessing initially touched it, but there was a Galaxy player, Depew, who touched the ball.
Right.
But he went for the ball, but he didn't pass it back to a player that wasn't in an offside position. You know what I mean? He just went for the ball, like a natural motion, didn't clear it. It got to Mamadou Fall, who was already in an offside position. So regardless of how many people it touched.
Right. Even if they didn't call the first one, they were like, all right, we'll let the vibes go. There's already another. There's another.
Right.
But the fact that they had to release, like, look, here's the audio of the VAR people speaking. Yeah. I mean, that is one step closer to what we should have, which is what the Australian League has, which is on the broadcast, you hear the ref communicating with the VAR person.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have that transparency right.
The Premier League needs this because, all hell breaks loose every time VAR is used. And most of the time it's Arsenal fans. So, I'm with you. But this was one of those situations where they're like, okay, look, we know y'all going to go crazy.
Joe Willock just said, Alexis' shirt just has a question mark on the back for your phone.
Is this Papa with a question mark? But the number 69, though, you feel me?
My God. John Coltrane said, the rules are the rules until they aren't, right? Yeah, because then if you saw the, pro referees, they put out that descriptive video, and then the second offside was Latif Blessing, because he was also in an offside position when he got the ball. So they really were, holding themselves at least accountable, and also letting everybody know, like, yo, don't flip out, don't lose your mind. But you feel bad for LAFC fans who, they've had the heartbreak of Zlatan's first game. But obviously they got revenge in the playoffs. There were a lot of LAFC fans at that game. I don't know if you saw videos at Dignity Health Sports Park. I mean, I don't know how many tickets they had for the away supporters, but it was a lot, bro.
It was a really difficult ticket to get.
Yeah.
The one thing about Tráfico is it rises to the top of the LA what's going on, which is difficult to do in a city like Los Angeles.
Yeah, and it is kind of exciting when we were there for the playoff game, the playoff at Tráfico. I mean, there's a little bit like, yo, we were lucky to be there, man. Like, there's not. So. It was a difficult ticket to come by. There were, you start seeing celebrities.
We almost got arrested because people were faking.
Right, faking press passes and stuff like that. So it's the real deal, man. And
I almost like the fact that it ended this way, because that means the next match is going to be even crazier.
I agree. I don't know if that's a really. I mean, it's setting the bar every time for insanity. The one thing I'm happy about is that, to my knowledge, there were no incidents or fights or anything.
Oh, no, I think there were fights.
Oh, they were there?
Yeah, I think there were, but I don't think it was crazy.
Okay. I mean, look, as minimal as possible.
Some people got to catch hands. You know what I mean?
LAFC fans, LA Galaxy fans, I mean, they've been through it enough. And we want to see. I think both teams put out a statement even before the game that they were trying to make this as safe an environment as possible.
Yeah, because also, don't forget, it's also a family-friendly rivalry. So 30 to 152 people screaming, can intimidate a lot of people, and then you got the riot and all that stuff on the other side. So it's a pretty wild one, and it's Los Angeles. The city's too hot. Tempers flare.
I love how Alexis is trying to justify this.
I love what Tali said. Could an NFL type of explanation of fouls called over the stadium speakers from the field ref help or worse than the American game? It's an absolute great question. Kind of like in the NBA. When they go to the TV and they come back and they're like, the reason we're calling the foul is because we were paid extra.
Have you seen that clip going around of what was it, the
ref looking at the lady as he walks?
No. The ref that got in trouble for bribe or taking money. He was like gambling on.
Oh, talking about the Allen Iverson thing.
Yeah. I saw
that was great.
Where he was just simply he told Allen Iverson that I'm going to start calling.
No, he didn't. He told
all the
refs
referees
agreed to call travel because palming because he would palm the ball so much. So he goes, we all took turns calling it, and then about midway through the second quarter, Allen Iverson comes over to me and goes, "How long is this going to go on, man?" And he kind of smirked and he goes, "And we knew, and he knew, that why we were doing this, because apparently he either badmouthed the ref." Or got physical with the ref the match before and didn't get suspended for it.
Yeah, he only got fined, and
I like that.
But he was also
I like when a union decides like we're not working today.
But he
You know
was,
what I mean?
but he was using that to affect the result of the game,
Which
and
is
then therefore,
intelligent investing.
then he told gamblers like, "Yo, you need to not bet on the Nuggets because that's when it was happening when he was playing the Nuggets." And the dude got caught, and he got in a huge trouble.
You know, he got in a lot of trouble. But I honestly, if I was the commissioner, you wouldn't have been in trouble with me. I would have been like, all right, smart. You're not allowed to do that anymore.
And Ice Cold Brew said, "Nah, just let us hear the convo from the booth for viewing the play." Meaning from the announcers, like the regular broadcasters, or you want to actually hear the referee? I assume it does not want to hear the referee.
The most frustrating thing, I think, for fans is not knowing why. So if that is relieved somehow, post-nut calamity, if that's relieved somehow and they explain to you what the rules are, what caused it, I think the fans would be a little bit more... a little less apt to they'll still go nuts and they'll still be upset, but they'll be a little less there'll be less wonderment as to what happened, and I think that's what causes a lot of the frustration. But that's a great question, Tali. Thank you so much.
So
we should keep our football like Europe and the rest of the world, says Theo Nero. I mean, yeah, I don't know. We can advance the game. If it wasn't for us, there wouldn't be 3 substitutions. That's an American invention.
Okay, yeah, Alexis always loves to bring this up. Very proud of this.